In chapter 24 of Wuthering Heights, Michael, a servant who works in the stables, has been helping Catherine sneak out in exchange for books. However, Mrs. Dean catches Catherine returning from one of her visits to Linton at Wuthering Heights. Catherine, who's distressed by lying, confesses all the details to Mrs. Dean. At first, the visits go well, and Zillah makes everything comfortable for Catherine and Linton. One night, Hareton tries to impress Catherine by showing her that he can read his own name above the door. But Catherine laughs at him when he can't decipher the numbers. Then she goes inside to visit Linton. Hareton, a while later, bursts into the room and throws Linton on the floor. Then he shoves him and Catherine into the kitchen. Linton screams that he'll kill Hareton for this, and then chokes so violently, blood comes out of his mouth. Catherine runs for Zillah, but when they return, Hareton is carrying Linton upstairs to his room. Joseph laughs at Catherine and Linton, happy to see justice served in Hareton's realization that he is the true master of Wuthering Heights. Catherine ignores Joseph and leaves on her pony soon after that. Hareton catches up to her on the moors, trying to apologize, but Catherine lashes him with her whip, and he curses and gallops away. Catherine also tells Mrs. Dean about a disagreement she had with Linton over their different visions of a perfect day. Then, Catherine begs Mrs. Dean not to tell Edgar so she can continue to see Linton. Mrs. Dean promises to consider it, but then goes directly to Edgar, telling him everything. Edgar forbids Catherine from visiting Wuthering Heights again. Catherine's character has a unique relationship with the servants in the novel, which highlights how pride is destructive, but humility overcomes class prejudices and leads to justice. Catherine sees the servants for who they are. She respects them, knows their hopes and aspirations, helps them, and calls them by their first names. Servant Zillah's kindness provides imagery of the goodwill that flows when class distinctions aren't interfering. Mrs. Dean, who at times represents the moral compass and judge of the other characters' spiritual qualities throughout the novel, has found Catherine to be an apt pupil for her moral teaching, and Catherine sweetly gives Mrs. Dean credit for supplying the song she uses to charm Linton. It is very rare for a servant to receive any gratitude or credit in the novel. The contradiction found in Catherine's cruel behavior toward Hareton is the main point of the chapter, as well as its result: violence. Hareton attacks Linton as a way to rechannel his violent feelings toward Catherine. Hareton carries Linton upstairs and tries to apologize, matching Catherine's nature completely and speaking to the novel's theme of love. Joseph's glee over Hareton getting the first inkling of justice suggests that justice itself is always nearby when ideas about pride, humility, judgment, and pity are being explored.